Hello, and welcome to part three, African American history and what the Nation of Islam do not want you to know. In this segment, we dealt with Master Fard Muhammad, a master psychologist, a master magician. He knew how to put a spell on black people. He knew how to exploit the times of where blacks were oppressed and use it to create a financial empire for themselves under the guise of pseudo religion. However, let's now deal with a different segment of Elijah Muhammad, who became also instrumental, if not one of the prominent influence of Nation of Islam. Elijah Muhammad, he was notorious for speaking about black men being good fathers, taking care of your children. He became the father type figure and the role model that many black youths could aspire to. No wonder Malcolm X looked up to him because he became that role model, that spiritual figure. And it's very important that if you are to take care of your children, take care of your woman, you have that good role model in your life, someone you can look up to, someone you could aspire to. But what people didn't realize was that Elijah Muhammad, unfortunately, he was a con man as well. And a severe con man at that, because he had sex with six or nine teenage girls, impregnated every single one of them, and then he castigated them, reprimanded them, punished them for him seducing them. They got punished for it. Spike Lee film Malcolm X covers this beautifully well. So this false prophet, this false man of God, had sex with these young black girls, these young children, and then he punished them when it came to the public light. This became instrumental in carving the history of black psychology, because Malcolm X exposing Elijah Muhammad for living a double life, it shocked Malcolm X. He was devastating. This was his spiritual father, a man he looked up to, only to find out he had sex with young girls, and dumped them in a flat. It's bound to shock anybody. You look up to someone, your role model, only to find out they're not who they say they are. He's going to shock. Nobody's so tough. He's going to shock us all. And he shocked Malcolm X. Malcolm X then went to the media. He was doing his own missionary work, etc. But Malcolm X did not use that information to the media. But already the Nation of Islam was already threatening the life of Malcolm X. This must be a religious organization. They believe in God, and they were prolific in setting fire bombs to his car, threatening his family, etc. In the end, they managed to kill him in front of his children. This is black people, killed in front of his children. However, the psychology and development of this theme is very important, because after the death of Malcolm X, I remembered when rumors go around, the white man killed him, and the Nation of Islam, they fed that into you. The white man killed Malcolm X. Now, I'm giving you a story of misinformation when you don't know the true facts, when you don't read, when you don't research, when you act on emotions. The white man killed him, the white man. And I bought into that. And I thought, oh my God, how the hell can white people kill one of our heroes? I bought into it. This is during the time, 1980s. This is during the time where you still had racism, etc. So the white man became the enemy. Anything these black leaders told you, you're gonna believe it. You're gonna believe it, and I believed it until Spike Lee's film came out, and I was in shock. There was no white man that was involved, whether behind the scene, whether clandestine, whether furtively, whether surreptitiously. There was no white man. Malcolm X caught Elijah Muhammad with his pants down. He caught him with his sausage, his penis hanging out. This was a man, Elijah Muhammad, claiming, look after your children, look after your family, women live good. It was all a lie. He was selling morality, but he wasn't practicing it. The sun's on my face, so he was selling morality, but he wasn't practicing it. And so that's what killed. That's what led up to the murder, assassination of Malcolm X. Black people killed him. Yet this psychology, this atmosphere created a new invention of the evolving concept: blame the white man, blame the white man. This new invention came from the Nation of Islam: blame the white man. So if you don't want to support black business, blame the white man. Everything you failed in life, blame the white man. They lay down the foundation. I might have to go over this again because the sun has just come out. Right? Blame the white man. Right? So if you go and abort 10,000 babies a year, right? Go and stab your own black brother, all with the white man. It all boils back down to the Nation of Islam. When they killed Malcolm X, what did they do? They blamed the white man. And what's interesting, because there was no, as we have today, cameras everywhere and more social media. If social media was around, the Nation of Islam would have died out, because all the evil that they have done would have caught up with them. But the social media wasn't around then. So blaming a white man was easy, because how do you research it? You wouldn't know. We never even had a mobile phone or cell phone. We never had all those gadgets. So when this is the white man murdered Malcolm X, I actually thought the white man was there and they shot him. I never knew it was niggers that did it. And this is how today, that same stigma. However, let's move on quickly because people said my videos are too long. Right? Louis Farrakhan, to try to gloss over this evil, to try and gloss over it, says, oh, there weren't girlfriends, there were his wives. Look, in America and Britain, it is called bigamy. There's a law against bigamy. Secondly, they weren't his wives, right? They were his concubines. Thirdly, this idea that in the Bible, the prophets had more than one wife, two wives, that's a lie. King David was not a prophet. King David was a king. He was a messianic symbol to represent the Messiah, in his kingdom, especially one made of gold. But King David was not a prophet, nor was Solomon, right? Isaiah, Jeremiah, right? Nehemiah, Amos, all these real prophets did not have not even two wives. They had one wife. When people don't know their Bibles, this was black cults come along and brainwash them. Know your Bible. The prophets in the Bible did not have two wives or three wives, not even Abraham. Abraham had a handmaiden only because she couldn't give birth. Look at the story. Look at the story. Right, this idea that the Jews had 9 wives and 8 wives, that is not true. That is something that is unique to Islam. It is a sex cult. In England, I have not seen one Muslim with 9 wives or 4 wives. Like you're allowed up to 4 wives. You know, according to your leader Muhammad, you're allowed up to 4 wives. I have not seen one Muslim, not one Muslim with 4 wives. Why? Because you're under the English law. And if America got any sense, you'll also be under American laws as well. So Louis Farrakhan trying to smooth over the cracks. He's doing a very bad job. You got the laws to content you. Your perception of the biblical prophets is totally out. Why not just admit Elijah Muhammad was a pervert? And that's why today black men don't make good fathers. Look at who we got for role models. Elijah Muhammad. Look, Louis Farrakhan. You said, you know, I'm going to him next. Believe me, I'm going to damage him in my next video. I'm going to assassinate him, right? But Louis Farrakhan, he says, at the end of the day, we all, you know, love the black race, love our black skin. Then the white man's the devil. Yeah, his own son, Mustafa, his own eldest son, chief of his security, he's not only a policeman, but he's married to a white woman. This is the game that the Nation of Islam play. It's all about looking after the money. So look after the Farrakhan's empire. That's what it's all about. It's not about religion. It's fake. It's fake, right? But the man's a lie. He just makes things up as he goes along, right? But this is how they created blame the white man psychology. No black person used to blame the white man for their misfortunes. Why? We were all hard workers. We all had businesses until the Nation of Islam came along. They murdered Malcolm X, and then they blamed the white man. And thus, this is how the psychology and consciousness developed. Take away accountability, blame the white man. You don't want to shop in the black business, ignore them. Oh, it's a white man told me to. You want to kill a black person? The white man told me to. We become a sick race. We can become a sick race. So Louis Farrakhan tried everything in his power to try to make Elijah Muhammad, you know, be a prophet. There's a video I've got where Elijah Muhammad's own son said Elijah Muhammad didn't even regard himself to be a man, meaning, right, he was a worm, right? You know, he wasn't even a prophet, right? And towards the end of his life, he was even saying that the Nation of Islam should move towards Orthodox Muslim. But Louis Farrakhan knows if the Nation of Islam moved towards Orthodox Muslim, all the big cars and all his family status is gone. Like North Korea, where your family's in, and that's it, you can't get rid of them. This dynasty. Louis Farrakhan, he's got a dynasty, and his family is there. The Farrakhan family, they're there to stay. So they're not going to find no truth. Whether it's Orthodox Islam, they're not interested. It's all about money. It's all about money, right? So I'm not going to play you a clip. Right, to demonstrate, right, that how Elijah Muhammad's infidelity, his lust, his perversion led up to the assassination of Malcolm X, right? And obviously this became instrumental as to why to this very day black people, we have a tendency of blaming white people for everything. It started back then, and we still do it. You don't want to support the black business. You know, you like this, right? And you blame the white man. You know, it's become sickening. It really has. It's become sickening. But anyway, I'm ranting on too much, right? So here I'm going to give you a clip now of Malcolm X, discussing how they tried to kill him for exposing, him finding out that Elijah Muhammad was a pervert.
Why are they threatening your life?
Well, primarily because they're afraid that I will tell the real reason that I'm out of the black Muslim movement, which I never told. I kept to myself. But the real reason is that Elijah Muhammad, the head of the movement, is the father of 8 children by 6 different teenage girls, 6 different teenage girls who were his private personal secretaries. 4 of them had 1 child apiece by him. 2 of them had 2 children, and one of those 2 is pregnant right now in Los Angeles with his 3rd child.
Did you get out of? What will you take to protect yourself from this threat?
I take no steps. I have a rifle. If anybody comes to my house without a good reason, I intend to try and use it. And that's all.
Malcolm didn't know what he was playing with. No, he didn't. He didn't know what he was playing with. You don't jump up against a divine messenger of God like he did. He asked to die. And God obliged him. Now you don't understand. Like someone said, did you Muslims kill Malcolm? And the messenger said, and what if we did? He said, what if we did? Have you ever seen a leader scandalized like Malcolm scandalized Muhammad? Have you ever heard of anything like that? Don't you know if you scandalize a man who's loved and honored by the people, what are you asking for? You're asking for death. And he got what he asked for. And those who killed him, they weren't sneaking behind no damn counter. They came in the place where the man was preaching and killed him in front of his own followers. That's fearless men. And those who were there to guard him, they were ducking. Damn cowardly dogs. Ducking and running under poles instead of trying to protect the man. And you say it's your leader? You damn punk, you don't have no leader. If he's your leader, why the hell would you stand up for him? Now all of a sudden they can serve you a dead man on a platter. And you eat him up as your leader, not knowing nothing about him while he was alive and know less about him now that he's dead. Malcolm's momentum carried him to his death.
And frankly, it ain't none of your business. What have you got to say about it? Did you teach Malcolm? Did you make Malcolm? Did you clean up Malcolm? Did you put Malcolm out before the world? Was Malcolm your traitor or was he ours? And if we dealt with him like a nation deals with a traitor, what the hell business is it of yours? You just shut your mouth and stay out of it.
Really horrible, terrible. Made me dizzy, made me feel sick. Notice how the Nation of Islam all stood up when Louis Farrakhan said he was celebrating the death of Malcolm X, celebrating the death. All the Nation of Islam stood up, justifying the death of this fine warrior, this fine black brother. What was that telling you about the Nation of Islam? All stood up cheering, you know. And also there is no mention of the white devil. There is no mention of the white man. There are 2 time frames. One, the younger version of Louis Farrakhan when he's in the car and he was justifying the death of Malcolm X. And then you had in the future when he was much older, and notice he didn't apologize. The only reason why he apologized towards the end of his life was because I think it was Malcolm X's widow hired a hitman to go and kill him. If I'm right here, I'm sure I'm right. Betty Shabazz hired a hitman to go and kill him, like any decent woman would. Someone assassinate your loved one, you're gonna want revenge. And he obviously frightened and came up with some nonsense. Show me the FBI. Tell me the FBI. Where is the files? Come on, all this nonsense. That man even lied about some FBI kicking off his door and shooting him. You want to see there's a lies he comes out with. And the idiots, they're programmed and brainwashed. This is black people. They do it to Sunday preachers. They do to anybody. When you don't read, this is what happens to you. When you don't read. And there's no nation on earth who hates reading more than black people. And that's why we're all over the place. I knew a black, but not personally, I saw it on the news, a black person who was very, very rare, became a Sikh. A black man became a Sikh and had a top knot. Oh my God, he went all out. He was more Sikh than the Sikhs themselves. We're sick people.